Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Java tutorial in our Java tutorial series. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you create and basically just create directories using the Java 7 and onward file system API. Now, from this point forward, I'm going to be using the more modern file system API. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm going to be doing from now on. If you want to know how to do these specific things in the old way, you can always look online for that. So, how do we create directories? Well, let's see. Well, the first thing is we need to create, or we need to have in mind a set of names for our directories, and we're gonna our directory or directories, I should say. We're gonna start out with one. So I'm gonna say string dir name. I want this directory to be called temp_files. Cool. So how do we create a directory? Well, you first want to make sure that it doesn't exist. So create a path object. Path is equal to paths.get with just the URI with the dir name, and then we go files dot exists. Well, if it doesn't exist, the path, and we don't give it options, so if the path does not exist, we want to create the directory. And how do we do that? Files dot create directory. Now you can see we have create directory and create directories. There's a few differences. Create directory will create one directory, and then create directories will it essentially creates a directory by creating all non-existing parent directories. So it will go up your path, like it'll go through your path, and if the directory doesn't exist, it will create that directory for you. We will show that here in a moment. So we'll just say create directory. We want the path object passed, and we don't need any attributes put onto it. So we have that. However, there's an issue. What is this issue? Well, you guessed it. We got to surround it with a try-catch because it will throw none other than an IO exception. Because again, this is an input-output operation, so it has the potential of throwing an IO exception. You need to make sure that you handle it. Pretty standard procedure by now. So, with that being said, we now have this code completed. There shouldn't be any errors if we save it and we run it. You can see nothing happens. No errors, no exceptions, nothing. So let's go ahead then, and we can refresh the project. And you can see there was a new file or a new folder, I should say, created called temp_files. Now that's pretty cool and all. But what if we want to create a folder called temp files with certain other directories inside of that directory? Well, if we go up to our directory name here, we can add new directories to this path. So temp_files. We'll say we then want caches, for example. It's usually a cache file is a temporary file, and then we want a cache for we'll say browsing history. And so this will then create temp files, caches, and browsing_history when we call create directories rather than create directory. So everything else stays the same except for where we basically tell it to create directories. So create directories. Then give it the path. And we save it and run it. Nothing appears to have happened, so we should be good to go. We can then go in and refresh. You can see the temp_files folder is there. We open it up. There's the caches folder, and there is the browsing_history folder. Pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty neat. It's very useful, especially for when you need to ensure that you can organize files that your application generates into directories. You can very easily do that. So that pretty much will do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And in the next video, we will be covering a few more different things that you can do using the modern file system API, such as copying files, moving files, deleting files, that kind of stuff. So, anyways, guys, thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. So, yeah.